Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Facts and Two Cents with P and P, Pamela.
And Petal.
Great. So today we are back on our regular time. I guess is it our regular time? We don't even have a regular time.
We don't have a regular
time. But we are back.
Time is our regular time.
Anytime, anywhere is our regular time, and that's fact.
Exactly.
But we are back to just talk about our favorite topic so far, which is the royal family, and our favorites. They are Meghan, Harry, Archie, Baby Montecito,
Pula, and Guy,
Mama. Hi. And we'll keep naming them because people don't know why we do these things and this thing. And we want people to know that we are completely biased. Again, we'll keep stating that every time. We are biased.
We own our bias. We own our pettiness. We know.
We own our pettiness. Aside from all the pettiness and then the biasness and the jokes and the fun stuff, this show is about bringing you facts and adding our 2 cents to it. So today we want to talk about the I don't even want to mention his name, but we have to. Piers Stefan. Is it Stefan? Piers Stefan. Poogie Morgan.
Yeah.
Apparently,
otherwise known as Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Let's go back with Meghan Markle. Let's start from how the storyline behind how he met Markle. Right? He said she was sending him her screens up from
screeners,
from suits. Sorry, I said sweet suits, and even that I don't even know if I believe that, because it might be clips that she's sending him, but I don't think she was sending the whole. I mean, there's no way she doesn't have access to the whole episodes to be sending him episodes, right? Because it's not like he.
They met. Even going back further, how they actually met, he was friending people on Suits. I almost said Sweets as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he was friending the cast of Suits, and she was one of the people that he friended, and she turned on. I have seen the text. I think people have posted a text where she is like, oh wow, thank you for the follow, I'm a big fan. And so
I saw that. But I'm saying that he said that she was sending her
early episodes
and I'm like, no, I don't even believe that
could be a lie. And so and then going on from there, where she, they met in London. That she was there, and I guess a press tour for Suits, and I know they met. I think as part of the press.
The press junket, what they call it?
The press junket, yeah. And or at least he said that they met at this bar. This pub. At this pub somewhere in his neighborhood, and that they had drinks and talked. And then the thing about that,
nothing.
So, which who knows if all of those things happened, but the thing that's so gross about that, he went on to detail all of that stuff, is what they talked about. Everything, all of those things, he went on to detail all of that in his column in the Daily Mail. And it's just like, he even leaked one of her DMs onto the Daily, and it's just like, how gross is that?
But listen to what you just said, Petal. If you're capable of doing all that, and then you still want me to be your friend, that I ignore all that and be like, oh no, you know what? You just leaked information about me without my permission. But you know what? I'm still going to be your friend.
Exactly.
I mean, there's, just take a pause and think about what about it. Which normal person, right, would say that's okay with me without my approval? You leaked something about me, you wrote about me, and yet you still want me to chase after you. Like, who deprived you of breast milk? Like, seriously, what is going on here, right? It's like, why are you acting as though the world belongs to you? You are just another human being just walking on the surface of this earth who, at all of us at our right time, will exit. You're acting like, so that God complex thing just kind of like, it really bothers me. It's like you think you have the sole right to determine how someone functions on this earth.
Oh, totally. Totally. The thing about with Piers Morgan, which is really gross, this is a married man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Once divorced. And then yet, but he will call Meghan out for being divorced. Yet he was divorced too.
yeah, exactly. And it's just like, what is the, you have a family, you have a wife, but you are obsessed with someone that you can't have, and it just.
Under any circumstances, any American man who obsesses with another woman, there'll be divorce court. At the rate in which Piers is doing that, if there was any regular, married couple, and the husband is like just obsessed with another woman, who's ignoring you and not saying anything to you, hasn't said anything to you, is not bashing you, it's not talking back at you, it's not like, I'll be worried about my husband. I'll be like, what is this obsession? Like, what is going on with you? It cannot be your job, because your job is at your job, and then when you're done, you let it go. This is not about your job. This is something personal.
Exactly.
And, yeah, and as your wife, not his wife, but as a wife of somebody else, I'll have an issue with that. So the fact that his wife doesn't have an issue with this, and sometimes she joins in, it's
she
demonic.
she also writes articles, really
Yeah.
nasty articles about Meghan as well.
Yeah.
And so it's become a family business
Oh,
of
it's a
let's
family
make
business.
money
Yeah.
off of bashing Meghan Markle.
She's insecure of Meghan and is mad at her husband, but can't take it out on him because she's scared of him. So she takes it out on Meghan.
So she takes it out on Meghan. Exactly. Yeah. And if you look at the timeline of that, when that bashing started, all up to the wedding, it was how great she was, how much Harry is lucky.
Harry made a good choice.
Wonderful.
Yeah, my friend, and
she
all this stuff.
Me, but I hope I get an invitation to the wedding. And then the wedding didn't happen, and then that invitation didn't happen, and then you see the nastiness started. Written over, now it's over like 75 articles in the Daily Mail about Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
And at first it was all, bashing her, and now it's her and Harry.
Yeah.
I mean, in every form, there's the go back to America, Diana, then bringing on her father. It's just like never.
It just keeps going on. It keeps going on. I think something is to be done about this, right? Something has to be done. And I don't know what needs to be done and how it can be done, but there has to be some kind of accountability where, yes, he's lost his job, but then there's something more has to be done, because it's surpassed freedom of speech. This is not about freedom of speech. This is a heavily pregnant woman, and you continuously demean her, just belittle her, insult her, call her every word, every name in the book, and nothing is being said to you. Like, I don't even see American journalists do that.
Yeah, because of them, him and the Daily Mail, she doesn't have a relationship with her father.
Yeah.
Piers completely got in the middle of that had basically coached her father into the interviews that he was doing. You know, there was even an interview that he did where Piers Morgan's book was highlighted and featured in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But
bringing him onto.
he was a willing participant too.
He was.
We can't put it all on Piers.
He definitely
He is a
was,
willing
but Piers
participant.
Morgan was a part because a lot of times he came on GMB, it was being interviewed with Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that he, you know, basically used her father to try to get, you know, manipulate her into having having another relationship with her father so that he can get information
from the father. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, there's these articles like, oh, Meghan, you know, make sure call your father or talk to your father. It's the holidays. Your father needs you. All of these articles to try to gaslight her and manipulate her into, you know,
like she needs to hear, she needs to hear from you to tell her she needs to call her father. Like all these years before you guys came in the picture, she didn't know that she needs to call her father. Like, you know what I mean? It's like she's an adult. She knows what she's doing. And if she has attempted to reconcile with her dad and reach out to her dad, and her dad is being manipulative and not being truthful and dishonest and aligning himself with people like you, yes, boundaries have to be created and boundaries have to be set. And it doesn't mean that she probably hates her dad. No, I actually don't believe that. I think she still truly, really loves her dad, and she's so hurt and disappointed that it's taken everything in her to stay away from him. And, and that doesn't make her happy. I don't think she's happy about that at all, but it's necessary, right?
Like, of course, she has to protect herself and have those boundaries.
Yeah, some things are not everything is bad, but certain things are necessary.
Yep, exactly. You know? And I think too, it's not just the Daily Mail, but then the Daily on GMB. Yeah. And I really had a huge problem with that. Watching Susanna Reid sit there.
Oh, she pretends she's like neutral, but she's really not.
She's not. She's not. And I remember just when it was announced that that Meghan and Harry were going to do an interview and stuff at Oprah.
Yeah.
And there was a day where he just really went off, and they had the highest.
It could have been him. Why didn't they interview with me? I am pissed. I'm pissed. Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they had the highest ratings that they've ever had. And I remember watching, seeing tweets and just, you know, actually responded and telling them how gross it is. Chris Shipp and one of the other guys from ITV celebrating their high ratings because he was going off on Meghan on GMB. And it's one of those things where this man for the 3 years he's been doing this to Meghan, nobody has said it. They've been profiting off of this the whole time. Every single one of them profit because they, you know, money and in advertising dollars and ratings based on his hate, you know. And it was just like, you know, that he couldn't do that without, you know, please do from his bosses, from the royal family, from, you know, he's not going off. And because the one thing you notice is the confidence in which they do this.
Yeah. Well, did you see the current picture with him standing in front of Kensington Palace?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's twofold to that. I know we're jumping ahead, but it's like either that is true or somebody on Twitter says, no, follow the money, because that's too easy that he's just stood in front of Kensington Palace. And I was like, we can do both. We can follow the money and also just like realize that it definitely came from the royals. It could be Kensington Palace, Clarence House, whichever.
Yeah. Well, it's William. I just think it's William. William is just doing too many things. I just think that's William. It just reads William on it. I could be very wrong, but it just smells like William.
If William and Kate were in Harry and Meghan's shoes, they wouldn't survive this. The harassment, the attacks, they won't survive it.
No, totally
William
not.
will not be able to survive this.
No. Before Meghan came on the scene, they were getting bad press. But that's because of their own laziness. That was because of what
Yeah,
they were
but
actually doing.
It wasn't as bad,
It
and it wasn't
wasn't
even
not like this.
But even William wasn't getting that much bad press. His bad press was associated with Kate, because Waiting
Right.
Katie. That was the affiliation. Oh, William tried to help her out, or William tried to do this. But even that whole time, whatever William did wrong was pushed onto Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Harry took
Exactly.
the blame for it. So we couldn't really tell what William was doing, but it wasn't as bad. It was more so, when is William going to marry Katie? Is William ready to get married? Like, I honestly don't remember any reporting that was so detrimental, like, right? That
To
was
William.
so
Yeah, exactly.
humiliating against William, right?
Right.
Kate got some, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even as bad. Kate was more so like, she's waiting, she went to, she's flirty, she's been waiting, she's not doing anything, she's lazy,
Right. Yeah.
which
But
is true.
definitely nothing. Yeah. But the thing about it too is just like, you think about William, when you are at a place where, you're thanking somebody like Piers Morgan. And when you think of who Piers Morgan is and what he's done to Meghan for the last 3 years, bullying day after day after day after day on GMB, then he jumps on Twitter and attack after attack after attack.
Yeah.
And then he has his columns in the Daily Mail, which
Yeah.
he's written over 70 horrendous articles about Meghan, and now both Meghan and Harry.
Yeah.
For you to be calling somebody like that and thanking
Allegedly.
them.
But allegedly.
And this is, again, you think back to who William is. This is somebody who is supposed to be supposedly a mental health advocate.
Yeah.
Who is the head of
him and Kate.
Heads Together, who started Heads Together.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see that clip, that thing on Twitter with someone who put it together, put the whole mental health video together with Meghan talking about how she wasn't getting the help, and then Kate and William talking about mental health. You need to ask for help if you need help. Kate was put it.
And then Meghan asked, and look what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing about it too, he's not only just a mental health advocate with Heads Together, which they started, but he's also an anti-bully activist.
What a fake.
And okay, so you're a mental health activist, anti-bully, but you're thanking someone who has been targeting
and bullying your brother and your sister-in-law
and your brother, who both have been struggling with their mental health. You're anti-bully, and this man has spent the last 3 years bullying your sister-in-law and your brother. Yeah. And you're gonna call the person
thank him?
Thank?
Well, what does that tell you about William? That's like he's equally narcissistic. It's like he is just. Listen, British people, you guys have him. He's gonna be your king. I don't know, but I don't know if the monarchy is going to be there till then. You guys can come.
I hope not. I seriously hope not. This is just.
He's going to be your king.
This has got to end.
This is a person that you guys want to be your king. I will skip him to George. Seriously.
I'm like, abolish the whole thing now. I don't even want George, because you think about it, it's like whatever what are they going to do if Charlotte and Louis say, the little ones, they're like, we don't want to be working for the money. What are you going to do? Banish them you did to Harry?
They should be lucky. They're lucky. They're lucky that they have a what do you call it? A map and a print. What do you call it? A footprint from their Uncle Harry that they can follow now. So
a blueprint, yeah.
A blueprint. That's not a footprint. A blueprint. That's what I was trying to say. A blueprint that they can follow now, because now they know what to do and how to go about it. And they can be
successful
doing it too. So they should be
exactly
grateful and thankful to their Uncle Harry and their Aunt Meghan. Yeah.
Exactly.
Their black Aunt Meghan.
But again, you come back to just the idea of, and now Piers Morgan going around, came on American television and Fox, which is like,
yeah.
And then really letting the world know that, the royal family, first he's like, all of Britain is behind me and support me. And the royal family, and, of course,
It's so
the royal
delusional,
family,
though.
huh?
Very delusional to think all of British people are in support of me.
Well, yeah,
I
well,
mean,
misogynistic, egotistical
all
person,
of
God with a
British
God complex. Of course, you'll
people.
think that way, and even the royal family called to thank me for basically abusing,
Yeah, stand up for them.
abusing one of their own people. The
Yeah,
royal family called me, and of course, the royal family. We will not be
commenting
commenting on
on
this.
this. But
And then it
when
was like, yes, well, actually, you just did
you just
comment on
did,
it,
but
and we
guess what?
know that you
But
did.
guess what? When Kate had had Botox and he licked out, we commented because that is so important and so significant because Kate is aging the way she needs to age and she's not taking Botox. That is
Right.
not true. And when Tetler magazine wrote things about Kate that she actually told her friend, we were like, no, that's not true because we didn't expect people to be reacting to it the way it did. And so we would comment on those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other stuff that Kate has done, but we would not comment.
And you notice though, when the minute that came out, and then people started like, "Whoa, what?"
Mm-hmm.
You notice how that disappeared?
Yeah,
No one in the British press is talking about Piers Morgan.
yeah.
That story just died.
Mm-hmm.
None of the reporters, if you
Oh,
look at their tweets,
even
other than Oprah.
Robert Jobson. I don't know if you saw his message initially when Piers came out. He was like all excited about it and like, yeah, Piers went on Tucker Carlson and da da da. And then within a few minutes, he says, "I seriously doubt or do not believe that the
Yes.
royal."
Exactly. And now not one of them are touching that story. If
Nope.
they've jumped onto something else, because it's like all of a sudden they realize, oh, that makes the royal family look bad.
Mm-hmm.
At first they were all rejoicing. Oh, Piers calls Meghan and Harry liars. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, and now Piers is like, I would not be surprised if he is now persona non grata. I would not be surprised.
Surprise, yeah.
I would not
Yeah.
be surprised because nobody, all of a sudden, that whole hysteria with Piers bashing them that was happening one day
Yeah.
ago, all of a sudden, it is just
And
completely
I'm
silent.
amazed by that. I'm amazed because this is supposed to be a hot topic, right? Because Pierre says the whole of the British people are behind him, so that includes the news people.
Silence.
Yeah, why are they quiet? This is supposed to be really good content, like material, like
Mm-hmm.
leech on it. Dan Wootton, what happened? Why aren't you talking about it?
I'm telling you, Dan
Richard
Wooten,
Palmer,
you would
what happened?
expect Dan Wooten to
You
be
know,
like
yeah, just
celebrating this.
salivating
Instead,
because
what you got was a
because
letter from Dan Wooten.
when Max what's his called Chris was it Max whatever his name is CNN what's his name Max
Oh, Max Foster.
Max Foster had that stupid show movie play documentary. He was like all on Twitter like, yes, we're so glad we're able to penetrate the American market and tell our story. Well, your Piers was on an American show on Tucker Carlson. Why come you're not talking about it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Lose
He
women.
probably talked about it when he was on there, but the minute that he, that royal family thing came in, that got shut down.
Yeah. Lose
That got
women.
shut right
What's
down.
happening?
And
Lorraine, what is happening? Why aren't you guys all talking about this? Because this is what you guys will be feeding on. Because it's a lie. And maybe it's not. Maybe the royal family actually did call him and thank him. And
I
now
believe they did. I totally believe. I mean, Chris Ship said like Piers Morgan stands by his because he did a couple of tweets about it. He said Piers Morgan stands by his comment. I believe they did. He did. And the thing about it is, I don't think this was the only time. I think this his ongoing attack is something that has been palace sanctioned.
Yeah.
I don't believe this is a one-time thing at all. I think this whole thing was palace sanctioned,
Listen.
And honestly, I don't think Piers Morgan is not, he uses the royal family for attention. I don't think Piers Morgan loves the royal family more than any other person. It's
No,
just, he uses them for attention.
He wants an OBE or an MBE, whatever you guys call all those titles. He wants one of those. He doesn't have any. He wants one because for him that's another status, right? speaking of someone who's a social climber.
And that's the thing. What he is, he's always
He's the
calling
epitome.
people what he is.
He's the epitome
He's
of a
attacking
social
people, you're
climber.
this, you're that. But I'm like, that is you. That is you.
He's projected.
You know?
He's projected. That's him. He's a social climber.
Totally. And
like,
it's exactly what William did with, calling, when they are charging Meghan with being a bully when he is a bully.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you're the bully. You know, how dare you be charging someone when that's who you are?
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's completely gaslighting people. I mean, I don't know with Piers Morgan what, I expect it to continue, but I'm hoping this, even going so far as to go, whether it's, it's an old picture or not, posting the picture of him in front of Ken, or maybe he just mocked it up, he could have just, mocked up the picture.
Yeah.
But even to do something that juvenile, one, I'm thinking this may, one, he's probably an alcoholic. I'm sorry. Maybe, I don't know. There's something going on there with him. But I just have a feeling that I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see him on any, like nobody hires him after this.
Well, you never know.
Murdoch, but then again, it's England. They seem to go for the dregs of things.
And the fact that he said his book is number one, I don't even know who is buying that book to make it number one bestseller.
Oh, he has his fans. I mean, if you look at Twitter, I mean, he has some of them, I'm sure he bought some of those followers. I don't know, but he does have a huge following. There are people that believe and really subscribe to what he is selling. And so unfortunately that's the case. And he, I look at people who follow him like I look at Trump supporters. They basically are interchangeable. It's that white supremacy, white male privilege kind of crowd. And it's the same as the Trumpers. It's the same, so the same people in England that's going to be against Meghan and Harry are the same ones that are in the US. That will do it, and so that's the reason, and I believe that's the reason why he did that interview and where he did it. I mean, why else would you go on Tucker Carlson's show, on Fox?
Because he's looking for he's targeting a specific market.
Exactly, because that's the same right-wing audience that is in, the Nigel Farages and all of those. That's the same audience that's in England. So that's why he's there, to try to drum up Boris that same Johnson. Kind of hate towards the Sussexes.
Yeah. But anyways, that was a long. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we wrap up? Because this guy
for me, I just want that people not push this under the carpet. Because again, it's very important to understand that this is not some feud. There is no feud.
This is a
one-sided person. This is an adult.
It's a one-sided attack.
With a history of abusive behavior, especially towards women.
Yeah.
And this is unacceptable.
And women need to stand up. Women need to really just come together and stand up. I mean, across, women in America, women in the UK need to come together and be like, we will not tolerate men such as Piers Morgan and his cohorts acting and treating women as though we are second and third class citizens. No. If your ego is bruised or you are in fear of the fact that a woman is succeeding, that is your business. But you shall not attack any woman, demean any woman, insult any woman, no matter what she does, because she didn't do anything to you.
And, and even along those lines is when you accept this kind of behavior, it's like, especially like you see it even now, like it's very prevalent now, especially in the UK with the Sarah Everard, the girl who was killed.
Yeah.
And you see there's a pattern of how women are treated. And it's just basically the same thing. It's like we're treated like second class citizens, third class citizens, and it's acceptable. And you see not only just men accepting it, but you see so many women accept that kind of behavior as well. That's frustrating. If you're accepting this kind of behavior from a Piers Morgan on television, that doesn't just stay on television. That translates outside of that. And that
to
is
young
the kind
boys,
of behavior where you
and you
feel like
know,
it's okay for you
it's
to take
okay.
that outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
if you're accepting that and you're perpetuating that and you're tolerating that, that's why, watching Susanna Reid and all those women on GMB and all those women on Loose Women and all of those that are perpetuating the same behavior. And then when something like Sarah gets killed, or, you see this awful behavior, then they're all like, oh my gosh, how can that? I'm like,
but then also, Petal, is like, yeah, that is true. But what is also alarming is the women who blame women.
Yeah,
right? Like some of the women on the shows who are like, oh, if this woman didn't wear a short skirt, then she's not going to call that, attack on herself.
Yeah.
So it's different. But,
yeah. So yeah, my thing is just again, I just hope this is not pushed under the rug. I hope that people keep talking about this. They trend this topic so that, and sending this to television stations, newspaper, wherever Piers Morgan or people like him are, seeking to work or seeking to have a huge platform, is just like, this is unacceptable, that we need to get the word out so that everyone knows. And abusers, that's the thing with abusers, they don't want, if you notice, anytime you challenge Piers Morgan and stuff, he will block you. They don't want this stuff. They don't want this stuff out there. They don't want people to know. Abusers don't want people to know about their abuse. And this is what we need to be sharing. This is what we need. This is it's absolutely unacceptable to, that she does legally because of free speech and all of that. He is protected by that. But then what kind of protections does his victim have? When he has when he can use these platforms to abuse, then what can she do to protect herself from this kind of behavior? So
on that note, we need to wrap this up, but I hope that you guys enjoyed our facts that was laid out, and read up on him, go to Wikipedia, learn more about Piers Morgan, and then you can have a better understanding of who this man is and what he's about. The more you know about people that you are standing against, the better it is to be able to fight the battle or the war.
Yeah.
Right. Well, until next time, that's our fact and our 2 cents. Take care.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.